Welcome to Western Wisconsin Journal. I'm Bobby Pominville and I'm the arts correspondent. And I've invited one of my friends back today. I think you've been on a couple times, Andy. But today we have the director from the Hudson High School. And we're going to talk about some of his newer choirs and venues that he's been working on. One being the River City Chorale, which I sing in. So welcome to the show, Andy.
Thank you very much, Bobby. I appreciate the invitation. I'm glad to be here.
I'm delighted to have you. And I want to say this correctly. You are the artistic director and conductor.
Very
of the chorale.
important. Very important, isn't it?
I want everybody to know that. And this choir has been going how many years now?
This is now in its 5th season. Can you believe it?
Oh, then it's almost a celebration.
It is. It's the 5th
really
season.
Is.
Yep.
I think we better cook up something.
I think so.
Special.
Exactly.
But anyway, it meets in the summer, and it's just outstanding. So we'd like to get the word out. We want you to think about joining the choir. So we're going to ask Andy to tell us a little bit about the chorale.
Excellent. Well, like we said, this is our 5th year doing the River City Chorale. We started in 2009, and at that time it was the Hudson Community Choir. Started it up back in 2009, that summer, hoping to get maybe 30 or 40 singers together in the community and present maybe 1 or 2 concerts. Well, that first year we had 130 some singers. And since then we've ranged anywhere from 130 to 165 singers annually, which has been a wonderful thing, which tells you there's a real need and a desire for a choir of this caliber and of this configuration for our community, for this River City Valley area. So like I said, this is our 5th season. If you're interested in being in the choir, probably the easiest thing to do is to go to our website, and that is the River City Chorale at, the rivercitychorale.wix.com/TRCC. And we have more information on there. We have videos and sound clips of past concerts. You can register right there on the website for this summer. If you don't have that ability, you could email, you could phone, whatever is the easiest. Right now, I think we have registration, probably about 125 singers that are currently registered.
That's amazing.
Now, they certainly can register up until that first rehearsal, which is on Monday, May 13th, I believe.
Right.
We're asking if we could get those pre-registrations in by Monday, May 6th, so that we know how much music we need to have, if not earlier, just to make sure everyone has a copy of the music. Our rehearsals are held at First Presbyterian Church, which is 1901 Vine Street here in Hudson, and then we rehearse Monday evenings, and that begins on May 13th and runs every Monday for the second half of May for June, and then in July we do a Monday, Wednesday rehearsal schedule just to really get prepared for our concerts this summer.
Yes, and that really works well.
It really does. Really, it's when you get into July, all of a sudden, boom, things start clicking.
Well, yes.
Really making great music at that point in time, which is really neat.
And you know, some of the music is very difficult.
It is.
And so we really gel about in July. And I really feel like we're ready to perform then.
Yeah, which is good, because we have to.
Yeah, we really have to.
Exactly.
I mean, that's true. I mean, who knows? You might have to call more rehearsals, but I don't know how you can do that with a summer schedule. So this works very, very well. You're ready to rehearse twice a week, and you do it for several weeks, and then you perform twice.
Excellent. Yeah. Right now we have 2 performances. One is scheduled on July 22nd, and tentatively scheduled right now for the high school performance. And then we always do our Lakefront Park concert, which is downtown, which is, it's the same performance, but just a different venue, and just, it's a lot of fun. We get a lot of people that show up downtown. You can bring a picnic, a bottle of wine, enjoy some great music by all the great people in our community.
You know what? Everything is falling on a Monday practically here.
Monday's just kind of,
for one concert at the Lakefront, I believe.
Yes, and the Lakefront concert, that's a Thursday, the 25th, I believe.
Okay, and that works well because then we perform twice that week.
Yep.
And then summer's still on and we have a little break.
Exactly.
All right, well, it's just amazing to think that you can handle 130 to 160 singers and rehearse them. And you know, it's your technique and your conducting. I'm sure that everybody just loves it.
Well,
because you're so enthusiastic and you just get everybody involved, and we don't just sit there and look at our music.
It's not a passive event.
No.
You are active. I think it's very high energy. It's certainly a rehearsal where I think everyone feels comfortable, even from people like you that have a lot of singing and music experience, to maybe the person that sang in high school or college and hasn't even picked up a piece of music in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, but would like to get back into this. I think because of the size of our ensemble, it really allows for a real musical community to take place where everyone can contribute and experience in something just really important that we all need in our lives, and that's obviously expression through music.
Exactly, and you know, I have gotten to know so many of those people so well, and now we've started a little bit of social events, and of course that's my area too, and it's become so comfortable to go there and meet friends and sing and make music, and an enjoyable 2 hours.
And we usually have kind of our usual singers that have been there for all 4 years, this being the 5th one. But we also get a good percentage of brand new singers, which I think is incredible, because that means we're exposing what we're doing as an organization to a lot of other people, and that's obviously an interest to other people. And so I think it's a wonderful thing. We've been very busy this year. We now have a board of directors that have been put in place for the last year. We are in the process of obtaining our 501c3 status, nonprofit organization status.
Yes.
As well as our youth choir that we started this year.
Oh yeah, we've got to talk about the youth choir. But just wait a minute. Before we get to that, here's a tough question I developed for you. What are your goals when you select the music for the chorale?
You know what, that's a great question. You never really know how many singers you're going to have. Is it going to be balanced between soprano, alto, tenor, bass? What's the experience or the expertise of those singers coming in? You need to pick literature that is going to keep those really strong musicians engaged in the rehearsal, but at the same time it's not too difficult where it's going to scare away maybe the person that hasn't had as much exposure to singing and to music.
Right.
So I really try to find a balanced program where there's a little bit for everyone. There's got to be a little bit for everyone in the choir. There has to be things that I enjoy in the programming as well. And we also have to think about our audience. I mean, what will our audience appreciate? How can we educate them? And then also, is there going to be other literature that's just fun, that really connects to everyone?
Exactly.
So you really have to take that all into consideration when planning a program. I try to do themes. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. This year, kind of the theme is Psalms and Songs of Love.
Really?
So Psalms and Songs of Love.
Now that love theme has come up more than once,
You know what?
Sandy.
It has, because there's just a lot of great...
Because the music is...
Yeah.
All right. No, it isn't just that you're happily married. It's just that.
Exactly.
Okay, whatever. I shouldn't have brought that up. But anyway, I love your themes. And then you develop these wonderful posters to go with them.
You know what? That's one of the things I actually enjoy, is finding pictures or artwork to correspond with some of the music. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's something completely different from what I normally do, but I really do find enjoyment out of finding those. Well,
and those themes pull everything together.
It really does.
You do that in your Christmas programs too. You do it in various concerts you do during the year. You have that theme going.
You know, and obviously in some of the music in the Psalms, they're very specific. They're actual psalms. Yes. Songs of love, well, that can be a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And I think there's a lot of variety in this year's programming. Some that's familiar and some that's going to challenge people.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So can we hear about some of the songs?
You bet. Well, kind of in the psalm area, obviously one of the standards is by Rafe Vaughan Williams and Oh Clap Your Hands.
Oh, yes.
And so we'll do that. Of course, it was originally written for brass and organ. Now, we won't have an organ, but we have Jodelle Krause.
Oh, yeah, and I wanted to be sure we mention Jodelle.
You bet. She's an amazing asset. She's a great friend, a tremendous artistic partner. I just thoroughly enjoy working with her. We collaborate extremely well together.
And we are very, very blessed to have Jodelle. She is the most wonderful accompanist, and not only that, she goes way beyond what she adds to this group.
It's incredible. So we'll start with the Rafe Vaughan Williams, Oh Clap Your Hands, and we'll do it with piano and brass.
Oh, nice.
Following that, we have a wonderful piece by Renee Clausen, who is conductor of the Concordia College Choir in Moorhead.
Right.
And we'll do his Psalm 100, which was originally written for women's voices, xylophone, oboe, and string bass. But we have an arrangement by Drew Collins for SATB, so we have the mixed voices for that. And staying along the other theme for Psalms, then we'll end with an incredible gospel piece by Jeffrey Ames, which is Let Everything That Hath Breath and Life, which is fun.
I always love those.
You have to have a little gospel. It's kind of like
you didn't mention this, but Anton and Armstrong choral series?
Yes, so St. Olaf, that's their choral series, your alma mater.
Had to get that in there just a little bit.
Songs of Love, we're going to explore. Dan Forrest is a new composer. He's been around probably the last 5-6 years and really composing a lot of incredible music. I've really been a big fan of his. Good. One is called You Are the Music by Dan Forrest, and that's with 8-part choir, piano, and French horn, which is just 8-part,
nice.
Which is incredible.
Lovely.
Of course, we have to experience classical romantic music, so what better way to do that than the love song of Johannes Brahms and his wonderful piece, The May Night, which of course was written for his true love, Clara Schumann, of course was married to Robert at the time, so that was a love that he couldn't have.
Oh, interesting.
Another piece with piano and French horn by James Mulholland, which is Life Has Loveliness to Sell, a famous poem. And here's one that's really going to stretch us as singers and as audience members, and it's by Eric Whitacre. Mm-hmm. Eric Whitacre is a contemporary composer. He's very popular right now, probably has been for the last 10 years. This piece is called 5 Hebrew Love Songs, and it's text that has been written and composed actually by his now wife, then girlfriend, Hilla Pittman. So it's a set of 5 different songs, all sung in Hebrew, which will be a challenge, obviously, for many of us who are not proficient in Hebrew. Wow. And it's written for a string quartet and choir. We will perform it with piano and solo violin and choir. The harmonies are lush, it's warm. It's probably some of the best music I think I've ever seen come out of Eric Whitacre. It's joyful, it's compassionate, it's incredible text with the music that he writes with this. It's going to be, I think, a wonderful musical experience for all of us. And the Hebrew, it's an easy learn. It's not that difficult. It sounds much of the way it looks on the page. So.
Well, and sometimes English can be just as difficult as a different language.
Bet.
I mean, remember that rhythmic thing we did last year?
Oh, yeah. Song too.
It's still going through my mind, Andy.
Yes.
I mean, that's how well you
And then we've got some other music at the very end, some lighthearted stuff that we just won't talk about right now because I don't want to give it all away.
Okay.
We'll make sure they come to our concerts. Yeah.
All right. They'll have to come or they'll have to sign up. And
you bet.
And there is an urgency. They need to sign up as soon as possible.
Yes. If you're interested, please sign up. There is a due. The dues are $30 per person.
Right. Yes.
Now, if there are multiple people in your family, I think last year we had a family of 5, we will certainly give you a very large discount because that's a lot of money for 5 family members from one household. And so, and if money is an issue, you can certainly, send us an email and let us know because we don't want money to be an issue and to prevent someone from participating in this organization. That's not what this is about.
Oh, exactly.
This is about including everyone. But we would like you to pre-register. And you can visit the website, which I think they'll probably put up on the screen later.
Yes, I'm sure they will.
And again, that's the River City Chorale.
Sure we do that. And I just want to say, be sure you say the
River City Chorale.
Because when I wasn't doing that, it doesn't come up.
Oh, okay.
So you really want to be able to put the there. And I think the board decided that as well, that we want that. Okay, so there is urgency here because when this airs, we don't know, but it's May 6th would be the pickup night for music. Yep. Is it okay if they pick it up on the 13th?
Yes, you don't have to show up on the 6th. If you'd like to stop by the church between 6 and 8 o'clock, you can pay your dues, pick up your music, and you have it in advance. If you can't make it, not a problem. You can just show up a little early on our first rehearsal the 13th and pick up the music.
All right.
And once again this year, we'll have some MP3 files with all of our music for people to practice on their own if they don't have a piano or have the ability to do that, to help them out.
Oh, that's great, because a lot of people like that.
You bet they do.
That's really good you're going to do that. Well, that sounds very exciting. Yes. Now I'll have to wait to learn what the others are too. But I can spread the word a little bit,
Definitely.
can't I? You bet. Okay, we went We didn't mention the age of the singers. Maybe we should mention that you're taking singers that are age 15 plus.
15 and up. So if you are in high school currently or beyond, you are welcome. I think we typically get someone that's around 15, 16, and we get people that are much older than that. And what a great experience for an intergenerational activity.
Oh,
and that's
I've
singing.
always thought that's a wonderful thing to combine the generations.
We've had grandparents, parents, and grandchildren all together in the same choir, and have had a lot of fun. So 15 and up.
I think that's just
all you need
marvelous.
is some kind of previous singing experience, high school, college, church choir, community college, community choir. And the big one is a passion for music and a passion for learning and having fun.
Right. And remember, you don't have to audition.
No. It's open to anyone.
That's right. And I think a lot of people get nervous, so I just want to put that out there too. Okay, wow, this is going so fast. Now, anything else about the River City Chorale?
Well, we will have a large fundraising event coming up in September.
Oh, I do want to talk about that.
Yes,
the fundraiser.
Now, of course, I can't remember the date off the top of my head. I think it's the second week, perhaps, of September.
I want to say the 7th.
Yeah, and we'll have more information on our website. But it's our first big fundraiser for the organization. As you know, we hope to expand the organization into more than just the 2 choirs we have now. We hope to do larger works, more concerts, outreach concerts. That all takes money. And that's money that we need beyond just the regular $30 dues for each singer. And so we're doing some fundraising events coming up in September.
Yes, and it's going to be very exciting. I'm on the committee.
Excellent.
And we are planning silent auction, possible raffle, lots of, you might say, well, we're going to be looking at a lot of things while we're sitting there, and we're going to have hors d'oeuvres and cocktails and different things, soda, whatever. But we also are going to have a lot of AV stuff.
Yes, we'll have videos of the concert. We'll have information about the group, and I think it's just a great opportunity to really inform more people of what we're doing and ask for financial assistance to help sustain this organization, so that this organization is here well beyond our years.
I think that's a marvelous idea, and I can see the wheels are turning and where you're going next with another group.
Yes.
But this youth choir that you've developed has become extremely positive.
Yes, it has. This was
do you want to tell us about that now?
It was really the next phase of the chorale, and I brought it to the board saying we need a youth choir. We have a great music program here in the Hudson School District, but I also wanted to look at other areas, people that maybe are homeschooled, attend private schools, and maybe don't necessarily have as great of musical experiences. And offer an opportunity a little bit different than maybe what the normal K-12 curriculum would provide.
Right.
And so we came up with the youth choir, which started in February. We just concluded last Saturday with our debut concert. It was open to grades 4 through 7. We had 38 singers be a part of that. These 38 kids were phenomenal. They were great singers. They were passionate. They were hard workers. It was a wonderful experience, and I'm sure those 38 will come back, and I hope to get even more singers in the future and have different age levels as well.
Yes, and you know, it's something that for years, since way before I retired, parents were asking all the time, when are we going to have a children's choir?
Yep. We have traveling soccer and volleyball and softball, and we have all these outside organizations outside of the school district.
We do.
And I think we need something musically as well for these students that maybe want a little more challenging, and want to be pushed in different directions.
Yes.
And I think this is an opportunity for those kids to do that. We had students participating in, I'd say 50% came from Hudson, the rest came from River Falls, New Richmond, Baldwin, Elmwood.
Oh my.
And Sun Prairie. I mean, we had them from all over the place, which was great.
Ways.
And they all drove to Hudson for an hour rehearsal weekly. So
yes, and you know what I heard? I heard there was a standing ovation.
Yes, those kids
they sang so well. Yeah. So I mean, and you obviously picked some excellent literature for them too.
Yep. Music that would push them, music that they could learn from, that they could be successful at and enjoy it all at the same time. And they knocked it out of the ballpark. They really did.
Oh, good. Because 9 rehearsals is not a lot, Andy.
No, it isn't.
That's not a lot of time to put on, to master 4 pieces of music.
And in rehearsal 5, we were a little nervous, but they really, they worked hard.
Not to mention the snow days in there.
Yes, exactly.
That was against you too, I guess.
Yes. So.
But when I was visiting a rehearsal, I have to say that Andy was teaching them how to memorize music. And it was incredible. And I loved the way you did it. Everybody was going at their own pace, kind of. Yep. And then you'd say, okay, stand up when you're ready to sing that. And I love that.
And I have taught every age. I have taught now elementary age, middle school age, high school, collegiate, church choirs, college choir. I've done it all.
That's right.
You know what? We're all the same. We're all the same when it comes to music. How we approach it's a little different, but people are people. And as long as they have good music in front of them and they have a drive and a passion, they're willing to do just about anything. So I have just as much fun with that youth choir as I do with the chorale.
Oh, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. And there is that child out there that may not be so good at sports or various other things, and here's a choir for them. And so you're really feeding into that need for the ones that are, well, we want to have children that are developing their whole brains. And I mean, we want the athletes, sure, everything like that is great, but we also want that musical ability.
We want well-rounded kids.
Well-rounded is wonderful, and I'm just delighted. So the first year is kind of behind you?
It is. It was kind of a pilot. We didn't do a normal full semester, I guess, from February until end of April. And then we'll figure out what worked well, what didn't work well, and how we'll approach it in the fall or when we start it up again. And you haven't seen the last of the youth choir, that's for sure.
No. So I don't know, what are you going to do next year? Are you going to expand the rehearsals, amounts of rehearsal, or how are you going to do that?
We'll probably implement different times, and we'll also see if there's more interest. Last year, or this year I should say, it was grades 4 through 7.
Right.
Now let's look at the earlier ages. Grades 1, 2, 3.
Oh, good.
And having different sets.
Really?
You bet. And see what kind of interest. And what we can do. And like I said, my vision of this whole chorale and the vision of the board is to create lifelong singers. Yes. Well, with lifelong singers, we need to start at the beginning and to have a whole conglomerate of youth choirs, perhaps middle and high school, that even complement what we already do here in the Hudson School District and beyond. Right. And then those community choirs. I think that's important.
I do too. Oh, I had no idea you were going that direction. Now you surprised me. Wow, that's just wonderful. Now, I think we've given all the information, but have I missed anything? Because this is a lot of information. I think there's a lot for people to decide what they're going to do and hopefully contact us. If they're not
for sure that they want to participate, they need some questions answered, they can go ahead and email the chorale, and that email address is the River City Chorale, all one word, @gmail.com, and they'll probably put that up there as well.
Oh yeah, I see that on your poster too.
And so they can email that address and we'll get back to them and hopefully answer any questions that they might have.
All right, so you've got 2 options there, 2 ways to contact, and I'm sure you can get the word to Andy or the chorale, and that'll be monitored. And by the way, when I registered, it worked perfectly.
Excellent. Excellent.
Very good. So I encourage you to sign up as soon as you can, because we do need to know how much music and so on. And we like to know the numbers so that we're well prepared. And then that rehearsal, remember, May 13th is the first rehearsal. So you want to get your decision made. Hopefully you'll sign up. And I should have mentioned this before, but we're attracting from all different areas up and down the river, and even a little bit into Minnesota. Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Yep, you bet. They're coming from all over, which is great.
Wonderful. And hopefully there'll be some carpooling and everything else. So I hope you have enjoyed the interview today, and I hope that you will consider being a singer with us. And I will tell you, sometimes during the year I'm singing in 4 choirs. And it certainly is feeding my love of music. So be sure you consider that. And thanks again, Andy, for being here today,
well, as always,
telling
thank
us
you.
all about the choirs. And we just look forward to more and more great concerts.
Thank you, Bobby.
All right. Thank you.